Okay, so recently I've been looking for apartments to rent and houses, and I've been just blown away by the prices of the houses and apartments. I live in a relatively small area, and there's nothing around here under $1,200. And I know it can be a lot worse in other places like the bigger cities. And I've seen a couple of videos of people voicing their same frustrations about the prices and how there's no affordable rent or homes. There's like a lot of people listing houses for way over the amount that they are really valued, and they think their house is worth way more than it really is. So I wanted to get into this first video about the unaffordable housing, and I just thought it was pretty cool, so let's jump into it.
Let me summarize for you just how unaffordable it's become for the average American to buy a house in the United States. The average household income in the United States is $80,000 a year. And a financial advisor recommends that you spend only 25% of your after-tax income on your housing budget. Your after-tax income, if you make $80,000 a year, is $60,000. And if you were to take 25% of that on a monthly basis standpoint, your monthly mortgage payment should be no more than $1,250 per month. A $1,250 per month mortgage budget only affords you a $175,000 home. But the average home price here in America is $420,000. So the average household in America can only afford a $175,000 home, but the average home price is $420,000. That, simply put, is the entire issue that Americans are dealing with right now. Do not let anybody ever tell you that right now is the right time to buy. The right time to buy a house is when you can afford it, and that's it. And if you can't afford it, that's totally fine. Renting is okay. I'm a realtor saying that. Way too many realtors out there are trying to tell you that right now is the right time to buy. It is a realtor's job to help you buy or sell your house when you decide it's the right time, but it is not a realtor's job to tell you when that right time is.
Okay, so I totally agree with everything he just said. Even if you're making $80,000 a year, two household incomes, you still aren't able to afford the average house in America right now. And I think the average household income is a little bit less than 80,000, but a $175,000 home is pretty rare to find. At least for where I live, it's not super uncommon to find maybe 75,000, 200,000. I really live in a small area, and I don't think the population is really going up. It seems like it's more going down. So a lot of the houses are, compared to other places that I have seen, are pretty low, but still, like, I struggle to find $150,000 homes around this area still. And what he was getting into is people are listing their houses for way above what their real value is, and way above what the average two-person household can afford. I mean, I'm lucky to be living where I'm at and paying just under $1,000 for rent here. So, but I am looking to move soon, and it's just every day I look, it just gets more and more depressing at the prices, and I don't think they're slowing down anytime soon. He's talking about houses here, but still rent prices are very, very high. So I wanted to get into this next video about people listing their houses for way over their value.
This house right here was just listed for rent for $5,900 per month. Unfortunately, this is the kind of greed we see destroying so many wonderful family neighborhoods here in the town I live in. And as you can see, it's just in a plain Jane, regular single family house neighborhood. According to the listing, in order to move in here, you're going to have to pay a $3,000 deposit. That's on top of your first month's rent of $5,900. So with a renting price of $5,900 per month, or about $6,000, that means to conventionally qualify, making 2.5 times the rent, you'd have to bring in about $15,000 a month, or over $175,000 a year to rent this single family home. It gets even worse. Now when we take a look at this listing, you see that it's just pretty much an average house. Doesn't have a beautiful view or anything special. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,700 square feet. But if we scroll down, if you're the type of person that wants to have a dog, you can see here in the listing, they'll allow it, but you have to pay them a $1,000 fee and pay them another $1,000 deposit. That on top of the $6,000 plus the $3,000 deposit plus this $2,000 means $11,000 for you to move in for 1 month. And when I check other listings on Zillow, I'm surrounded in this neighborhood and the neighborhoods nearby by houses roughly the same size or bigger for between $2,500 and $4,000 a month. What do you guys think? Do you think we should be renting out single family homes like this on a monthly, a weekly, or even a nightly basis? What do you think it's doing to the community?
Okay, so that is definitely one of the crazier housing lists I've seen. You having to bring in 15 grand a month for any home is just kind of insane to me. Just to move in for the first month, you have to pay, what did he say, $11,000 for the first month to move in. Then you're left with $3,000 for the moving fees and all that. That is just counting towards the home for the whole month. You can see the struggle that people are going through looking for affordable houses and just affordable rent prices. That is just insane. $1,000 just to have a dog or any pet plus another deposit fee, like that is just greed at its finest. And I don't think this area is relatively populated. I have no idea where this is at, even the state. And still the average rent prices is $2,500 to $4,000 a month just to live in a mediocre home that probably has a lot of things you have to fix. A lot of these homes now, like these new construction homes, are terrible, very bad quality. They're just being bought by big corporations and pushed out to make more homes. And it's just, it's sad to see that you have to pay this much and still have problems with the home. So that's what our next video is going to get into.
You'll see all these $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. Hell, here's one. There's one. All right. I want to show you what these sumbitches are made out of. You see that? Better. Okay. There's this. Ain't shit to it. I want y'all's goddamn homes built out of fucking cardboard. 200 G's. 200 G's.
He said 200 grand for a house made out of cardboard, like the foundation. That is like one of the most important parts, and they're just building it with cheap material and just pushing out these homes. It's like, if you're gonna spend $200,000 on a home, I would hope that it is the highest quality house that I can get, especially how it is now. And then like, and still 200,000 is still on the cheap end, but you would still expect a quality home from that, and not just being rushed out like this. Just be built fast and, you know, added to another gated community, or even just one of these smaller homes.
So I just got home from touring an apartment, and this whole drive home I have been stewing with anger, because between the time I signed up for that tour a week ago and the time I got there to do the tour today, the price of the unit I was interested in has gone up by $300. $300 in a week. And I no longer qualify for the unit at all.
Okay, hold on. That's actually crazy. Touring a house for 1 week, and then, you know, you qualify for the home. You're envisioning yourself in this home, and then next week you come back, the price is going up to the point where you don't even qualify to live there anymore. It's just insane to me. One of the comments says there needs to be rent caps, and I totally agree with that. You shouldn't have somebody tour a house 1 week and then up the rent to the point where they don't qualify the next week. That is just insane and just baffling to me. I believe these apartments be just taking application fees just to pocket the money. And honestly, that is just funny, because these application fees are like $70 just to tour and look around, and maybe, you know, you qualify for the house. That is definitely a scam. Like, the application fees for how high they are, just to tour and maybe look around and maybe be qualified, and it's just, no. Crazy thing is, the leasing agents don't even make 3 times the rent, and yet, yeah, it's just, in a lot of places, the minimum wage hasn't even caught up to the average price of living in a home or just a rental apartment, to the point where you would be more financially stable if you live with somebody else, like a friend, a partner, somebody that you can help take on the price of the rent every month, because just the minimum wage and the wages have not caught up with anything at all. None of these prices, and they're still inflating and going up.
My rent just went from $1,360 to $3,900 a month. Also, I'm sick. Happy spring equinox.
That is the biggest jump in rent I have ever seen. From $1,300 to almost $4,000. I don't even know what I would do. I would crash out like right then and there. There's no way. There is no possible way. I wonder what made the rent jump that high. I don't know. That is just insane to me. That'll be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy this, let me know your thoughts below. Feel free to tell me your experiences with these house prices and looking for houses and even apartments. I just want to know some of these. I just want to know some of these absurd listing prices that people have, or whatever you've experienced. Is maybe the rent has jumped up like this video. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, just like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.